Lewis Hamilton has sent out a clear message during Formula One pre-season testing with Ferrari. His decision to join the legendary team was a highlight, and so far his transition to Ferrari seems to be going very well. The positive impressions from testing have only increased expectations that Hamilton will be one of the main contenders for the season opener. But what has Hamilton to say about his performance so far? And does he believe he can challenge for an 8th world title? Let's dive in. During pre-season testing, Lewis Hamilton put in an impressive performance, confirming his status as one of the most experienced and talented drivers on the grid. He led the morning session with incredible consistency and finished second overall, just half a tenth of a second behind teammate Charles Leclerc. This result is not just a number on paper, but a real testament to how quickly Hamilton has adapted to his new car, the SF25. As he completed his final laps on the track, Hamilton was seen to be increasingly confident in controlling the car, even when faced with challenges such as changing track conditions or higher fuel levels compared to other cars on the track. The precision and fluidity of his driving style showed that he had begun to adapt to the characteristics of the SF25, something that is very important for a driver who has just joined a new team. Hamilton himself said that every day he spends with Ferrari feels so meaningful. He feels more comfortable in the team environment and is pleased with the progress made so far. In fact, the small incident he experienced while testing the 2023 Ferrari car, where he had a minor accident, he considered a natural part of the adaptation process. For him, each challenge is a valuable experience that strengthens his relationship with the team and increases his understanding of the car. Hamilton's decision to join Ferrari has been one of the most high-profile in the racing world, and this pre-season test has further underlined that he is ready to give his all for his new team. With his combination of experience, talent, and competitive spirit, he seems more determined than ever to bring Ferrari back to the top of Formula One. There is still a long way to go, but if this test performance is any indication, Ferrari and Hamilton may have found the perfect combination for a promising season. One of Lewis Hamilton's biggest challenges after 12 full seasons with Mercedes will be adapting to the SF25, the new car he is now driving with Ferrari. The move from Mercedes to Ferrari is not just a change of livery or technical team, but a major change in the philosophy of the car he drives. After years of driving cars designed with certain aerodynamic principles and characteristics in mind, he must now adapt to the different approach and dynamics offered by Ferrari. To speed up his adaptation process, Hamilton underwent 3.5 days of testing in Bahrain, as well as a series of shakedown sessions at Fiorano, the Ferrari circuit often used for early testing. The Bahrain sessions were crucial for him as they gave him the opportunity to understand the car's performance in real track conditions. Although Thursday's testing was disrupted by rain, causing some delays and schedule changes, Hamilton still managed to complete 115 laps over the first 2 days. With the addition of a third day of testing, he feels more confident in understanding the characteristics of the Ferrari he is driving. However, the big question that still hangs in the air is whether the SF25 suits him better than the Mercedes W15 that often frustrated him last season. Hamilton was tactful and diplomatic in his response to this question, taking an optimistic but cautious approach to his new car. "I think it's a bit early to say if it's a car that really suits my driving style, but I've really enjoyed driving it so far. We're starting to build a relationship and understand how the car reacts in different conditions," he said. In addition to adapting to the car, Hamilton must also establish a solid working relationship with his new team, including his race engineer, Riccardo Adami. The collaboration between driver and engineer is crucial in determining race strategy, car setup, and response to changing track conditions. "At the moment there's a lot to discover and I'm trying to understand it bit by bit. All the settings are very different from what I'm used to," said Hamilton, admitting that the transition has not been easy. For him, it's not about erasing all the habits he's built up over more than a decade with Mercedes, but more about how he can adapt to Ferrari's new approach. "It's not about forgetting what I did at Mercedes, but more about learning a new way of driving this car," he added. With time and more experience behind the wheel of the SF25, Hamilton hopes to find the optimum balance between speed, stability, and driving comfort. With the season just beginning, many are waiting to see if he can deliver his best performance and put Ferrari back at the top of the competition. Hamilton is also aware that his adaptation to Ferrari has taken much less time than other world champions who have joined the team. He understands that this transition process is not easy, considering that Ferrari has a different technical philosophy and work culture than his previous team, Mercedes. In comparison, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel had more time to adapt before their first race with Ferrari. Alonso, for example, had 128 days before the start of the season before he drove his first Ferrari. Similarly, Vettel had 106 days to adapt and understand the car and the team's working system before finally competing in an official race. Hamilton, however, is in a much more difficult situation. He had only 55 days to get used to the SF25 before the start of the season, a relatively short time to understand all the technical and operational aspects of his new team. Asked when he would reach a point where he felt completely comfortable with Ferrari, Hamilton gave a realistic and uncertain answer. "I don't have a crystal ball to predict when that moment will come," he said. "What I can do now is take it one day at a time. Focus on the task at hand, work on the things that are in front of you, and not get too distracted by external factors. I'm really trying to understand how the car works and how each session and each lap brings me closer to understanding its characteristics." In addition to the overall adaptation, Hamilton also highlighted the significant technical differences between Ferrari and Mercedes. One of the most striking aspects is the difference in the technical terminology used in discussions between the drivers and the technical team. "Some of the terms are the same, like roll bars and anti-roll bars," he said. "But there are a lot of other things that are called differently at Ferrari than what I'm used to at Mercedes. I've got all these notes on my computer and I study them every day, even late at night. After 12 years of working with the same system, it's definitely a challenge. But I'm enjoying the learning curve because there's something new to learn every day." Hamilton understands that the transition requires patience and perseverance. Although he is an experienced driver with many world championship titles to his name, there is no guarantee that adapting to a new team will go smoothly in a short period of time. However, with hard work and the never-say-die mentality that has always been his trademark, he is confident that he will be able to achieve maximum comfort with Ferrari at the right time. Despite the many changes, Hamilton considers his first month at Ferrari to be the best experience so far. "My first month at Ferrari has been the best month I have ever had. Everyone was completely focused on giving their best every day. A good start is very important, and I think everything went very well. Even events like the Barcelona accident are part of this journey. We have to go through all this to build a strong foundation." Hamilton is also confident that all the hard work during pre-season testing will pay off. He and his team have been working non-stop, putting in long days to get the best performance. According to him, this is the dedication required in the world of racing. Hamilton feels that this effort will not be in vain and all the hard work they are doing now will pay off in the future. More than just hard work, Hamilton also emphasized the importance of communication and adaptation within the team. He believes the changes they have made will continue to evolve over the next 6 to 8 months. This process is happening naturally, and he feels comfortable and accepted in his new environment. According to him, this factor is very important to build confidence and motivation throughout the season. With all the preparations that have been made, it's just a matter of time to see how far the Ferrari SF25 can take him this season. Hamilton is certainly hoping that this can be the beginning of his journey towards the 8th title of his career. Will this season be a historic one for the world champion? Share your thoughts in the comments section.